Hello, Programming 12. We're going to be taking a look at making new types of enemies now. So we have this really boring, you know, enemy that just sits in the middle of the screen. I think we can do better. I think we can we can do better. It does do some useful things though. Admittedly, it does show itself, right? It's got some sort of visual to it, which includes showing some data about it. It shows its hit points. We could do better than that for sure, but that's a good start. And it does check for collisions. Oh, and it does move as well, and it doesn't move beyond the walls. So, I mean, it's something is happening. Something's going on. So this is a good start for an enemy. Before we start extending enemy class, though, to build new enemies on this foundation, I think I'd like to make a constructor that would allow me to customize these values. So, for example, a constructor that takes parameters to set things like hit points, size, and room. So I'm going to make a new enemy constructor, an overloaded constructor that will take in those parameters. And I guess I'll just go in that order. I'll take in a hit point value. But it's hard to call it hit points because my instance variable is called hit points. So, whatever you'd like to do with that. Underscore HP, int S for size, int X, int Y. So this is one way to do it. So let's go ahead and assign those values. So in addition to sort of this type of thing, which I think I'll just keep as is for now, I'll just put it into the middle of the room. Actually, no, I guess we don't want it in the middle of the room because it'll overlap with our friend. I guess it's fine for now. Should we randomize it? I don't know. Maybe we'll randomize it. I guess we could just tell it where to go. But I think we'll just leave it as the center of the room for now. But this will be a good place for you to explore and experiment with, when you make your own enemies, where are they going to be? This is a design opportunity for you to customize what's going on here. In addition, I guess I'll set all these things. And I will set them to whatever the parameters tell me to set them to. So here we go. Nice, lovely constructor, and we can call that from our subclasses of enemy. So I'll go ahead and make an enemy, new tab. Let's make this enemy. I don't know what's another kind of enemy we can have. We can have an enemy that's maybe that follows you, a stalker, enemy stalker. That's too real. There are real things that are stalkers that are terrifying. Maybe enemy follower. That's a nice, chill name. You can call it whatever you want, of course. So I'm going to make a follower, class follower, extend enemy. All right. So this is an example of me extending an enemy and making a new kind of enemy. You're going to be making some other kinds of enemies as well. So this is a great template to see what path do you need to take in order to create your own enemies. So the first thing I'll do is make a constructor, and I will probably, when I make a follower, I'll have to send it some information. Follower itself probably could use an overloaded constructor, but right now I'll just have like a default follower. I think I'll definitely want to make a similar kind of constructor that takes parameters for follower as well. Eventually we'll need that. But for now, we'll just make it an enemy. So we'll say super, which is going to call one of my constructors, and I'll choose to call this one so I can send it some numbers. A follower will have 100 hit points. It'll have a size of 50, and it will be in room 1, 2, which is south of my first room. So that's just going to be the start of this. And if I don't override my show function or my act function, then it'll just get exact copies of that. So that's fine. Maybe I will override my show function, just so that I can fill with some other color. What other colors do I have? Let's see. Where's my, there they are. Pink, blue, Yeah, whatever color. Yellow. Let's go with the blue. Now, I keenly am aware that it's like, ooh, you're so similar. It's like, ugh, probably shouldn't be repeating myself here. I should probably come up with some kind of show function, that would have parameters. Maybe I could send it a color. But I kind of know I'm not going to be keeping this show function. It's just a test function, so I'm just going to leave it as it is and be content. So let's see what's the story. Let's see if we see a blue thing in the center of the screen. It's not going to follow me yet. Just want to see if it exists. So here's my original green enemy. So let's go see if we see a follower down here. Oh, we don't. Why? Where did it go? Because we didn't actually add it in, right? This is just the constructor. This is the show function. We didn't make it, so we better go make it. No problem. Easy to do. We just go where we made our other enemy. That's in the setup. For now, it's in the setup, but we'll improve on that. Where do we got that here? I don't know. Somewhere. Here we go. So we can say my objects dot add new follower. Nice. Okay, so that will actually put the enemy, it'll instantiate a follower object and place it into the list to make it act and show. Last class, we made sure that we only act and show the things that are in the current room, so we only see the original enemy object. And if we go south, hey, look, there's a whatever follower object, and we could shoot it. And notice that if we leave, if we go back and there's that enemy, and we come back, here's the new enemy. So, hey, things are looking up. Things are pretty great. It'd be nice to be able to select, from this place here, what is the room number? I want to be able to say, hey, go to room this or that. So I am going to make overloaded constructor. I think followers, these pieces of information will stay consistent, its size and hit points. But I'd like to have a constructor that takes in some parameters. So I'll take in int x and y. And we will build it at x and y. So now I've kind of broken my follower over here. It doesn't work, but I can say room 1, 2. But I can also add a new follower to be at room 2, 1. So that'll be to the east of the original room. So now I can sort of specify this information a little bit easier. All right, let's see if that works. So I'll go east and see if I have a follower. Yeah, I do. I'll shoot it and bring it to 80. Yeah, that's a different thing. And this follower is also different. Notice it's at 100, and I can shoot it at 61 apparently. I don't know. We'll go back over here. Sure enough, that one's at 80. Yep, so they're different. And they're showing up in different rooms, and things are looking pretty great. So now, our followers should probably follow. So I would like to override the act function. And I kind of don't want to get rid of all this good juicy stuff. This is the movement code. This is my collision detection code. So I'm not going to get rid of it. In my act function, I'm going to make what's called a partially overridden function, which means it's going to call super.act. And you might be like, but wait, super.act, this thing's act function extends enemy, and enemy extends game object. So you might wonder, wait, what super? This thing has multiple superclasses. Follower is both an enemy and it's also a game object. So what's super.act doing here? So super.act is calling specifically just one layer above. It's calling enemies act function. So super goes just one level up in the superclass hierarchy. So that's okay because in enemies act function, look what we do. We also call enemies act function with super.act. So in a way, we're getting all of the stuff from both superclasses because I specifically say in this superclass to call super.act, and in this subclass I'm calling super.act. So all of them will happen. It's this chain reaction of superclass act functions. So this one calls enemy, which does all this, but enemies act also calls wherever game objects act function, which does this. So we get all of the above. But we only get all of the above because we made it happen with this chain reaction of super.act functions. So that's great. So that means this covers movement, it covers wall collisions, it covers shooting. So now what we could do maybe is do the following. We could follow the player. So we could do something where we make we recalculate velocity. So maybe velocity could be a new p vector that is sort of the difference of the x and y coordinates of ourselves and our target, the player. So it always goes target minus player when we're doing this. So like my hero dot location dot x minus our location dot x. That's going to be sort of the if we're looking at the sort of the positions on the screen as a triangle that forms between the player and the enemy, then this will give sort of the horizontal part of that, and we're trying to find the rise and run, if you will. So this is the run that will give me that direction, and then we'll find the rise, my hero dot location dot x dot y, sorry, minus location dot y. Ooh, hard to type. So that'll get me going in the right direction, but it'll be extremely fast. It'll just teleport straight to me because the length of this is going to be the length of the distance between us because I'm literally just subtracting my coordinates. So, let's val dot set magnitude. We'll shrink that down to be like maybe like 3. We'll make it a real slow kind of zombie thing. It's going to just shuffle towards us and not be particularly scary. So we'll just recalculate this every time, and this will cause us to move and so on. Let's see if that works. I kind of don't want the sniper rifle right now if it's actually following. Of course, I can't take damage yet, so that's no big deal. Here we go. This one hasn't been affected, right? But this one, whoa, it's actually really fast. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm dead. I'm just dead. I'm so dead. And if I go through the door, then I've left it right there. Oh my god. Oh my god, no, it's killing me. It's killing me. I guess I could shoot. It's just eating me right now. Just like killing me. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I've made this dungeon so terrifying. I'm so scared. Oh no. So maybe this number could be adjusted, right? And this is where design will come in. This is going to be where you kind of take over. Clearly, I suck at designing enemies, or maybe I'm great at it, and we just don't know. So we're going to have to add in some features here. So for one, we don't take damage when the enemy eats our brains, so we should probably add that in. It would be great to create in your player class a sort of a similar type of thing that our asteroids project had. Remember how we had an immunity timer? And our character, when it took damage either from an asteroid or from a bullet from the UFO, that it would sort of be immune for a short period of time. So we should do that as well. And then, as we take damage, we'll be immune for a short period of time, and then, be available again to take damage. You should be able to take damage from an enemy of any kind. So notice that because we extend enemy, when we're searching for things to be damaged by, we don't have to search for followers and enemies because followers are enemies. So we just have to look to see if it's an instance of an enemy. And that will be enough to detect followers and enemies and any other thing that extends followers or extends enemies or you name it. So you'll have a whole if statement to cover all the different enemy collisions, and that'll be great. So that's one thing that I want you to work on. The second thing is to make a variety of enemies. You can make some interesting enemies that do different things. So for example, I think a follower should only follow you if you get within a certain distance of it. It's probably, maybe it's moving randomly, just kind of like wandering about. But then all of a sudden, you get close within a certain radius of it, and then it suddenly starts following you. So you could break down our act function to kind of if-else statement, where maybe start by making it stand still if you're not close, but if you are close, then start following you. I think that'd be really fun to do. That'd be a cool feature to add in. So that could be like, and you just make that addition to the follower class. Make it so that it only follows you when you get close to it, and it's stationary otherwise. And then think about making your own unique kind of enemy. I can think of a whole bunch of different kinds. Maybe I'll post in discussion channel some ideas for enemies, and I'll invite you to also post ideas, a different kind of enemies. Some might be easier than others, so I'll try to post some that are relatively straightforward, but are still complex enough that it gives you gives you something to think about and expand your skills and to demonstrate your skills. So I'll try to post some good, solid ones. So if you're not sure what to do, then just do those. But other people might post really cool ones because they have more knowledge about video games than I do. So do not hesitate to take a look at some of those ones that other people post, and take some time to think about it and post. I bet you know way more about awesome enemy types than I ever will. So add your voice to the discussion channel in Teams, and let me know what kind of cool enemies there are. And then part of the checkpoint we'll be making definitely these two kind of enemies, but that's easy. You just saw me do it. So adding your own enemy. I think we'll probably do 2 additional kinds of enemies. So add 2 of your choice from the list that we'll create, and I will confirm which ones are sort of like good enough. Some, you can make a real basic enemy that's not that interesting. Maybe it's like an enemy that sits there with 200 hit points. Like, nah, no good. We'll think of some good examples. So take a look at the discussion channel on Teams for more ideas, enemies for you to create. All right, folks, I hope you are having a good time with this project, and I hope you're really, getting inspired and creative with these ideas. Hopefully I'm doing a good job of teaching you so that you have the tools and it's not too frustrating. But hopefully it's a little bit frustrating because that means you're probably learning a lot if it's not too easy for you. Okay, anyways, folks, have a great day. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.